Hello everybody, this is Frodito Bobbin here, and welcome back to Trainz Simulator 3, where today we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Colchester to Harwich route. Yes, we finally have a new UK route here in Trainz Simulator 3. Yeah, in case you didn't know, the last UK route that we got here for Trainz Simulator 3 was the Swayfield branch route that came out way back in late 2023. Yes, it's been nearly 2 years since the last UK route here in Trainz Simulator 3, but yeah, here we are finally taking a look at a newly released UK route. Yes, it's the Colchester to Harwich from Mr. Pro Train. I think that's how I pronounce it, but I'm not sure if it's Harwich or Harwick. I'm going to say Harwich though because that's what Google Translate says, but if I'm saying that wrong, then you can correct me in the comments down below. But yes, the UK route, and yeah, that's one that I find to be quite interesting. Yeah, it's it's a bit of a linear route, as you'll see in a bit. And you don't always get that much rolling stock, actually. But you get some stuff nonetheless. So, yeah, new UK route here in Trainz Simulator 3. So, yeah, I guess not much more to say. So let's take a look at the Colchester. Yeah, let's take a look at everything that get here in the Colchester to Harwich route here in Trainz Simulator 3. So first things first is this, and this is the Class 66 in the EWS livery. Now, you may be thinking, well, the Class 66 is not a new locomotive here in Trainz Simulator 3. We've had the Class 66 in a couple of previous routes, and yes, that is true. However, this Class 66 is an all-new version from Pro Train. Yes, this is not the Class 66 that we had over in Trainz Simulator 2 or the older Trainz games on PC. This is an all-new Class 66 developed by Pro Train. Yes, which is for the best because the old Class 66 wasn't the best. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but this is miles better, as you can see. Yeah, look at the details and everything. Yeah, a little more details. This actually came out as a standalone locomotive a while back, I think. Actually, I think it was back in like it wasn't that long ago. I think it was like about a month or two ago. This actually released as a standalone thing. But of course I didn't review at that time because, well, as you know, I have a policy where I can't review single locomotive packs until whenever the surveyor comes, which it still hasn't, so yeah, unfortunately the policy is still in effect. But luckily this locomotive has now been included in a route, so that means it has a scenario to play, which means I can now finally show it off. So yeah, here it is in the Pro Train EWS Class 66. There are some other Class 66 versions on the contest store, however this is the only one that you get with this route. There's the cab. And yes, it's an all-new Class 66 cab as well, so I'm going to go over it nice and slowly so you can see all the details. Yeah. Look, it's got the knobs, like, or the handles, like we found an American locomotive. And yeah, that's because I believe this locomotive was actually built by EMD in real life, so there are some Americanisms to do with this locomotive, even though it's British. Actually, this version of it is British. Did you know there's also the Deutsche Bahn BR 266, which runs in Germany, which is basically the Class 66, but German. Yeah, here's the interior then of the, oh, here's the upper part. Yeah, a lot of detail here. And there you go, then the Pro Train Class 66 to the horn. Yeah, bell by chance? No. Okay, but yeah, there's the horn of the Class 66, a rather impressive horn accent. I like it. Yeah, it's not quite what I was expecting. I was expecting something like what we have over in Trainz Sim World. But yeah, either way, there's the horn then of the Class 66, and there's the approaching Class 66. Yeah. Alright, in terms of rolling stock, you also get this. This is the TEA tanker car in EWS. I'm not sure if this is I don't think this is a new asset. Yeah, I think there's a new Pro Train thing. It does look very well detailed though. I think this might be a okay, it might still be recent. But obviously it's still not, you know, it's not quite as good. But it's still a lot of detail though, so I guess it does blend in pretty well with the Class 66 in this route. But yeah, you get the TA tanker car in AWS, so you get an appropriate tanker to pull with the Class 66, so yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, you actually only get one tanker car. I just put these other two here just to make it more interesting, you know, because you only get one tanker car. That's what the back end looks like. Yeah, the back is a lot less, it's less detailed, so yeah, there you go then. Alrighty then, so that's the Class 66 and the tanker car, which I believe are new to Trainz Simulator 3. Up next, we have this. This is the Class 755 Electro Diesel Multiple Unit. Yes, and I believe this is also a new thing. I could be wrong because I remember we did have a variant of this train actually in the what was it, the Roswell Vale route. I forget, was that the class 745 or was this also class 755? I forgot to check because I'm stupid. But yeah, here it is either way. Then the class 755 here in the Colchester Harwich route. Yeah, like I said, I should have checked to see if it's 745 in the Roswell Vale route. But if you're curious to see what the difference is between this and the Roswell Vale version of this train, they can look at the Roswell Vale review that I did a couple years ago. But yeah, but for today, here is the class 755, part of the Stadler Flirt family of trains. Yeah. It's been a while though, actually. Yeah, this was, like I said, this was last included in the, well, this variant was last included in the Roswell Vale route. And I actually drew a dive in that video, so yeah. Alright. A lot of detail though. Of course, it's also a Pro Train thing, so yeah. Interior cab. Yeah, Stadler. Yeah, so let's see before then. Yep, the cab of the 755. A lot of detail here. Alright. Now let's do the horn. Yeah, there you go. This is a pantograph because I believe this is, like I said, this is an electro diesel, so it's actually, you can either drive it in diesel mode or you can also drive it in electric mode. And as you can see, there's the pantograph. Hang on. We'll load the pantograph. There we go. And raise. There you go. Because as you can see, this is actually an electrified route. I just put the trains here on this unelectrified section where these weeds are because I want a good space to show these trains. But yeah, this is a overhead route, as you'll see. Yeah, there's the overhead wires, and well, Red can see them a lot more once we actually get onto the rails. But here's 755. Then you get the front unit, you get this unit here, you get this diesel new unit, I think, and then the rest of the train. By any chance, does it have a passenger view? Yes, it does. All right. Wait, you have the doors part. All right. And oh, it's also a passenger view in this compartment. Yeah, we do, and it's even a different one. How about it? This one's standing in the middle, so you can look at the, well, look at the details. We can also see how the train like moves and stuff when you're going like a corner through like a corner or something. That's, yeah, that's probably pretty cool actually. And here's the end unit. Alright, so the 755, again, not sure what the difference between this and 745. Maybe I'll do like a comparison or something at like a later date and something. I don't know, but at least for today, yeah, there's the 755 they gave you with this route. Alrighty then, on to this thing, the Class 68 in the Direct Rail Services livery. This, of course, is not new at all. Actually, we've had this thing in the game for quite a while. This is another Pro Train thing, though. But I have driven the Class 68 twice, actually. I drove it for the first time, actually, in the Hawes Junction review that I did way back in early 2022. Yeah, that's when this thing's been in the game. And then I actually drove this thing again in the ScotRail livery when I did the Scottish Highlands re-review earlier on in 2024. So if you want to see me drive this thing, well, there's a couple videos where you can do it. And actually, we drove this thing again, technically, in the Hawes Junction re-review they did in late 2024. So yeah, was it late 2023? I don't actually remember. But yeah, there you go. Then the Class 68. Let's look at the interior. Oh, it was, ironically enough, there's actually another Stadler build, which I find interesting. For some reason, I thought this was a Siemens build for a long time. I don't know why. Well, there's a very modern locomotive, so, you know, Siemens are known for their modern stuff. So I just assumed this was a Siemens locomotive for some reason. But no, there's actually a Stadler locomotive, so yeah. Alright, horn. Alright, same horn as usual. Alright then. Up next, we have some more new rolling stock then, though. The FAA container cars. Also an EWS. Yes, this is the empty variant. Now, I believe this is Pro Train. Yeah, because this looks newer, so yeah. So you got then the FAA container. Or container flat car. That's the first version. Actually, you have 3 different versions of the FAAs. I then get this version, which is known as the FA 20-foot because it has two 20-foot containers. I think even the containers are randomized as well, so we might see that on the rails today. Yeah. Here then, that's the 20-foot version. And finally, here is the 40-foot version. So yeah, same car, but this time it's the FA container 40-foot, because it's a 40-foot long container, which runs throughout the entirety of the wagon, or the loaded part of the wagon, you know what I mean? So yeah. And that's everything. That is actually all they get with this add-on. So I will be honest, the rolling stock list is a bit light in this route. So basically, we get the Class 66 plus the TA tanker car, get the Class 755 electro diesel multiple units, and you get the Class 68 as well as the FA container with, well, 3 different variants. You get the empty version, the 20-foot version, and the 40-foot version. So yeah, not a lot with this route, to be honest. So yeah. However, if you want to spice things up a little bit more, you do have, well, this. So I guess I should mention something then. So in the Eureka Valley review that I did a couple weeks ago, I pointed out that this equipment was included in that route. But actually, no, it isn't. It turns out that all this equipment here that you see in this particular row here, it turns out that no, this actually doesn't come with the Eureka Valley route. This content here is actually now part of the base game. So I'm aware that Trainz Simulator 3 had an update recently, although there was no mention this was included in it. So I assumed that these were included in the Eureka Valley because, you know, that's how I used to do the things. But no, it turns out that this entire row of rolling stocks is actually included with the base game. And yeah, to avoid confusion, don't get this with this route either. The Colchester Harwich route. No, this is base content. Get this with the base game. So if you have Trainz Simulator 3, and yeah, if you have Trainz Simulator 3, just get the update and you have some extra bonus rolling stuff to play with then. So yeah. Some of which is British though, so it actually fit. Although I say British, it's not the correct time period though. I mean, you have these two. These are 5-plank wagons, which of course are known as standard. Same with this van here. This is the LMS 12-ton van, and also this Royal Mail coach as well. But they also get these, which are actually Australian. They have the buffers though, so I guess you could use these as like British rolling stock. Or you could pretend it's British. I don't know. By the way, I think all this rolling stock is actually like old, so maybe it's like a heritage freight or something. Like I don't know. You maybe could get creative and use like the Class 68 with like these first few wagons and do like a heritage freight train or something. I don't know. But if you want some extra British stuff to play with, then you get this content here. But otherwise, the first few rows is what you actually get with this route. So, speaking about itself then, here is the route itself then, as my camera's being weird. Yeah, here's Harwich then, which is the end of the line. So you get this big harbor here, and this is the end, which goes into the... Actually, is that a portal? I don't know. And you can go along here, it runs along the river for quite a while before the river ends, and then it goes up this green stuff, and then that's Colchester, and yeah, that's the whole route actually. It's a linear route, so... Yeah, not a lot of rolling stock and not a lot of different parts of the route to drive on. So, yeah. Well, what is the route like then? Well, we're going to find out in just a little bit, as now we're going to take a look at the scenarios and then we'll do some driving. Alright, so here are all these scenarios you get with the route, and as per usual, you get 4 pre-scripted scenarios plus 4 free drive scenarios. You get free drive bad weather, daytime, autumn, and night. And of course, we get 4 pre-scripted scenarios. 2 of which use the Class 755. You get, 2 path services, which are, go to different ends of the route. You get Harwich to Colchester and Colchester to Harwich Town. So, if you want to do the direction, then there you go. You also have the Harbour Express scenario, which actually use the Class 68. I believe you do the Class 68 playing, the Harbour Express. I'm guessing that's with the container cars. And there's this that we'll be doing for today, which is freight transport, because of course this has the Class 66, which is the new guy in this route. So, yeah, I'm not sure if this will take us the entire route. Hopefully it does, though. We'll just say, please bring the train to the harbor, and there you will bring some boxcars back to Colchester. So it might be like a there and back again type of scenario. So, yeah. Alright then. Well, we'll see what this scenario is like. Let's get to it. Alright, good morning. Please bring the train to the harbor. Okay, so we are... Oh, we're actually all the way... Alright, we're all the way up at Colchester. Okay, so we're gonna have to go the whole route. Okay, that's fine. Alright, do we go? I guess we just go. Okay. Alright. There's a train watch over there. Actually, I'll give you guys a better listen to the engine sound. Yeah. All right. There we go. Alright, there you have it then. The Class 66. Well, we'll get some higher speedisms on this thing as we go along here, but yeah. And here's the station at the other end of the line. It actually looks pretty cool. I even like how it's got the overhead wires. I think this might be part of the Great Eastern Main Line because you get the Class 755 with this route, which does run on the Great Eastern Main Line out of London. I forgot the station. What was it? London. Dang it! What's the name of the London station? Is it London Liverpool Lime Street? No. London Liverpool. Are you insane? You know, you'll probably know. Spot was a bit weak out over there, though. Gotta speed up speed. Alright. Alright, changing lines. Yeah. Okay, had a bit of a cut there because my mom interrupted me. As I was saying, yeah, there's the you can see how the wheel axles are, or the axle bearings are turning with the wheels. I think that's a new thing here, Trainz Simulator 3, but for that point that out. I think with the Classic 6. Oh no! Wait, what? Wait, they don't turn with the Classic 6 wheels, really? Bit of an inconsistency there. We could go to 90 miles per hour. I think it was where French were limited to 75. We'll stay with them at 75 though. I don't have a timetable to stick to though, so I might just stick to the speed limit anyway, just to be realistic. Alrighty. Well, here we are then. Colchester Harwich, or Harwich. Again, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Google Translate said Harwich, so that's what I'm gonna have to go with. But maybe that's correct though. I don't know. Again, if anyone knows how to say that correctly, do let me know. Yeah. I will say this though, nice to finally have another British route, especially one that's a bit more modern, or a bit more mainliney, because as you can see we have all these overhead wires here. It feels like a mainline because, you know, it feels like all the other British routes that we have will feel like a branch line of sorts, or like a slow middle of nowhere line. This was more like an inner city main line of sorts, and so it's nice to have this kind of route in this game. Oh, route error. Why does it keep doing that? Anyway. Oh, Forza, is that our top speed? No. We're up a hill, that's why. Alright then. But either way, again, nice to finally have a British route, you know, because, despite being an American, I'm actually a really big fan of British trains, actually. Ooh, there's a 755 there. How about it? Yeah. Does his paragraph up by any chance? He does. How about that? Also, something else I want to point out is you may have noticed the track run sounds. Yeah, so this is something else that I noticed but never pointed out because it wasn't that noticeable, but it is now. Yeah, so with the launch of Trainz Simulator 3, or actually the launch of the new heck, she thinks she's going in my room. With the launch of Trainz Simulator, actually with the launch of Trainz Simulator 2019, which is the second game that had, or the first game actually that had this graphics package right here, as you can see here, this graphics, because technically Trainz a new era. Oh, what the heck? Hold up. So I set those points manually, or is that? Hold on. Oh, come on, really? Are those points supposed to be manual, or is that an automatic junction? Where is it even? Oh, wait, they want me to stop there? Oh. Okay, so we're just stopping for the sake of it. Okay, whatever. I might tell us here what this next objective here. But yeah, with the launch of Trainz Simulator 2019, which is the second game on the E2 engine, because the first game on the E2 engine was Trainz Simulator Era. Although with Trainz 2019, they actually changed the track run sounds to be more realistic, and they actually had that specific track run sound for quite a while. And I don't understand. Oh, it might be an error. That's a bit worrying, though. I don't like. Yeah, a bit concerned. Are we gonna... Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I don't see any junctions, so I guess we're just gonna go right through this then. Whatever. I suppose my Xbox controller's turned on. I don't know why. I'm not using it for anything right now. Okay, well, it's green, so... I guess we can just go right through? I don't know. I don't know, because this ride came out last week, actually, but I waited next week to review this one because I wanted to wait for the bug fixes to be fixed. Oh, hold on. Are those points set right? They are. Okay, that was weird. Isn't the classic 6 then? The container train is sitting down for some reason. Okay. Wait, sitting down? No, he stopped. Yes, trains can sit down now. Anyway, can I get to my point? Yeah, so, like I said, Trainz 2018 had new track run sounds for the trains. And this game had those same track run sounds actually for a while, but it seems for some reason, with the new game update, they seem to have now reverted actually back to the track run sounds that was over in Trainz Simulator 2, as well as all the older Trainz games. And as to why that is, I have no idea. Very strange. Yeah, I think we're going to be doing a there and back again type of journey, because I think this route was listed like 30 kilometers or something on the list page, which I don't know why we're using kilometers. This is a British route. We use imperial units in Britain, for now at least. I think that converts like, what, 23 miles or 20 miles? I don't know. Either way, this one's not very long, so I guess we're just gonna get to Harwich and then go back to, or no, get to where we're going and then go back the other way. Also, didn't mention I was gonna talk about at 75 miles per hour, but looks like the top speed is sitting at an easy mode of 75 miles per hour anyways, so yeah. I guess you're wondering why, 75 is like the limit. Yeah, I think 75 miles per hour is the maximum permitted speed limit of all freight trains in the UK. Which makes sense, because freight is, well, yeah. Although if we're doing the 755, we could probably go up to 9. Well, no, we could go up to 90. Yeah, because I think the 755 can go up to like 100. Okay, now for some reason we're going all the way down to 25, though. I don't know why we're going so slow there. There's something else. I like how this route's electrified and here we're driving a diesel train. Yeah. Yeah, but reason for this though was because, well, I already did the 755, or I think it was the 745 with the Rosvera, which is very similar, I think, to the 755. So yeah, are we gonna slow down in time? Oh, we're not going to. No. Yeah, there's gonna be some points subtracted there. Yeah. Oh, no penalty, though. Well, we're already at 0% throw anyways. Okay, wait, are we slow down for this station? Are you serious? Okay. But I wonder why they reverted back to the older track run sounds. Was that a mistake? Or maybe was that a complaint? Oh, here we are at Manning Tree. Yeah. Or I don't know, a bunch of people say, I don't like this new track runs, I want the old track runs out back. Oh, we're going in this junction here. I see. Yeah, so then I guess if you were like, okay, we'll give you old track run sound back, the global version. Which is weird because I actually didn't mind the new track run sound actually. In fact, I think it sounds a little bit better than this one, but whatever. Yeah. But yeah, third Trainz Simulator in a row as well that I'm making. I didn't expect to make this many in a row. But yeah, this just happened to come out while I was in my little Eureka Valley phase. Yeah. And yeah, haven't been doing... Actually, I've been doing a decent amount of Trainz Simulator videos this year. Yeah, because, I'm not gonna have a lot of it has actually been re-reviews because, we haven't gotten that many new routes this year, so, yeah. But then I decided, you know what, let's review the Eureka Valley route, so I can also use that opportunity to review the Amp View Liner Pack as well. And then right around the time this came out, so I was like, okay. Because funnily enough, I was actually planning on doing, yeah, like I'm driving the Class 66, and I was actually planning on doing the Cargo Line Volume 2 video on Trainz Sim World, actually. But the reason why that video won't be happening, I guess, well, won't be happening for a little while, is because, well, in that video I would also be driving a Class 66, and I want to do 2 videos in a row where I'm driving a Class 66, you know? Get a bit repetitive. But I will say this, I am glad I finally get to review now the approaching Class 66 here in Trainz 3. Because I actually was interested in this album when it came out. I was, you know, like, I forget when it was. When this came out as like a standalone thing. But I was like, oh cool, Proto's making a new Class 66, how about it? But like I said, my policy states that, you know, well, you know what policy is. But yeah, luckily, like I said, my policy, well, doesn't apply here because this is included in a route add-on, so yeah. That's now, oh, this is exploring a container train. How about it? So yeah, I've done Eureka Valley, we did the MTV Liner reviews, here's this video now. I don't know when the next Trainz video will be though. Most likely not until whenever the next route add-on comes out. Which, I don't know when that's happening, but we'll see. Okay, why are we going so slow for this part? This is just... Look how straight this track is. This doesn't make sense. And only after, see if you get to go back up to 90. Okay. I also believe this makes now the 5th electrified route we have in the game now, because well, for the longest time the all electrified route in the game was the Europe High Speed route. Then we got the test track route. Yeah, I think that was second route. Then we got what was it? Mall Trains Germany, courtesy of High Walmart add-ons. And then earlier this year we got the folded to Wurzburg route, and now I have this. Yeah. And here's our first British electrified route. Yeah. So that actually makes makes 3 German routes that are electrified. 1 route which I don't even know where it's set, that being Europe High Speed. And 1 British route. You know what? I know there aren't any. I know there aren't that many American electrified routes, but it'd be cool if we got one of those. I don't know if they would make, or if they could make the this quota for this game though. So it'd probably have to be like a oh, the electrified route. I'm thinking. Okay, well, you know, there's two routes they could make. There's the Caltrain route, the Peninsula Corridor, which has the Stadler Flirt, or not the Stadler Kiss trains. Those electric. Although that might be a bit weird because of the licensing issues. Because ironically enough, the Caltrain license was recently pulled. Say recently. Well, after the Candy Pro lined up with the track. Really? Come on. But yeah, Caltrain pulled the licensing for the Caltrain stuff over in Trainz Classic, Trainz Roll, or the Left Out Game side of things. So I don't know if N3V would be able to get the Caltrain license. But there's also a route actually based in Chicago, which is the, I believe, the South Shoreline route. Yeah, South Shoreline. That's also electric. Or the the Metro Electric District. Yes. Hey, we do have branded Metro stuff in this game, so we'll see. I mean, they did like a fictional route of some kind. I'm not sure. Oh, though I don't know. Anyway, right along the water now. We can't really see it though from here. But yeah, EWS Class 66. How about it? I think we've already had an EWS Class 66, but like I said, it was the older Class 66. This is now the new one, so yeah. Okay. Come on. Yeah, some of the route building this route is a bit naff, which I don't even understand, because this route isn't even that long. Like, really? Anyway, I suppose all to say for now then, I guess. I think there was some stuff I wanted to mention, but I forgot what it was. But I wasn't really important anyway. They pretty much covered all the important stuff. There's a Dutch that has one on track there. The station as well. How about it? Well, I guess talk about some live updates then. So, as I think I mentioned a couple times now, but yeah, I'm currently trying to make money with YouTube Shorts, which you can actually see that because I'm posting them to this channel because, you know, this channel is monetized, so I want to use that opportunity to make some money. Oh yeah, I'm actually recording this on a Thursday as well, actually, so I can, so, yeah, it's the, what was that noise? Yeah, so the information beginning will be 2 out of day when this video comes out, but yes. As of this point, though, as I'm recording this video, I'm still figuring out YouTube Shorts. You know, I'm still trying to figure out, like, you know, what gets the best swipe ratio, best average view duration, so I can try and go viral. It's proven to be a challenge because I'm having to really try and figure out which shorts, or which type of shorts are the best. So, yeah, it's early days. I don't know how long it's gonna take until we get our first viral short. We'll see. Although there is currently one that's escaping 40k view jail, so, I mean 30k view jail, so we'll see what happens. So, yeah, we'll see how the YouTube Shorts goes then over the next while. I'm hoping that at least be making good money before the end of 2025, but we only have a month and a half left to go on this year, so we'll see. Um, some of the other stuff as well. I think I mentioned NASCAR 25 actually in some of my videos lately, and yeah, this week NASCAR 25 finally released on PC, and I've been playing it ever since launch day. I've had a pretty good time with it. I've enjoyed NASCAR 25. It's not perfect though. You know, I will admit the pit logic is a bit naff. But for the most part, I've been really enjoying NASCAR 25 so far. So yeah. And honestly, I'm just happy to have a good NASCAR game again. You know, I mean, after the disaster that was 21 Ignition, and after the mediocrity that was NASCAR games, I'm glad that we finally have a good NASCAR game again. And I do think the NASCAR gaming is finally in good hands after so many years of waiting for the right developer to come along and make a good game. And that's pretty much it, actually. Yeah. Then again, I only did a game of it last week, so I got not much more to say. Oh, in terms of what's coming next, also what released this week was the Santa Fe gameplay pack for Trainz Simulator. Yeah, that's finally come out, and that video will be happening next week, actually. Yeah. Well, it's another Trainz Simulator 3 route releases, but I don't think that's likely considering we just had one. So yeah, but otherwise, if no new Trainz Simulator 3 route comes out, then next week will be the Santa Fe gameplay pack on Trainz Simulator, which will give you guys a good look into the Cajon Pass route, which I didn't mention that was going to be one of the best that I was going to cover, and I'm going to do it, but I was just waiting for the Santa Fe Game Pack route, or Escape route. No, Santa Fe Game Pack to release, and it has, so that'll be the next video. Yeah. And yeah, that's the entirety of the route then. We are in... Is this Colchester? No, this is Harwich. Yeah, that's the whole route then. I guess those container cars are ours. You know, okay, it's also short that the scenario is going to be us taking tanker cars one way and then the container cars the other way. Which is ironic because those are the two different freight wagons they get with this route. There's also a ferry there. This static, don't think that goes anywhere. Can't have to go this slow though, come on. Alright, and... Okay, heavy freight train, so let's stop it. This is a bit slow. Stop at just the right place. Alright, take up both the rail cars and then go for it. Okay. Oh, this one. Ah, I see. So I guess now we're gonna go pick up the hopper, not the hoppers, the container cars, and take those back to Colchester. Yeah, so I don't know. First UK route we've had in almost 2 years, and I don't know. Rolling stock is a bit lackluster. Well, yeah, rolling stock and engines inclusion's a bit lackluster with this route, and the route itself is linear, so you can't really make any diversions. So I don't know. I mean, I reviewed this route because I just, you know, it was a new British route, so I figured let's review it. Oh, here's the ferry station. That's pretty cool, though. I like the way the station looks. Well, I guess with that being said, let me know what you think of this route, then. Alright, change direction. Okay. I think this route's alright so far, but then again, I'm only doing one scenario, so Yeah. Well, in that case, could I recommend then for the rolling stock? Again, you don't get that much. I mean, in terms of freight, all you get is that tanker car and the container cars, so it's only really 2 cars. And you get the 755 Flirt, which is similar. And it might even be the same as the one in the Rosswood Vale route. You know, I'm gonna look through my stuff now while we're just cruising along here. Okay, we'll go fast on this thing. Come on. I want to look and see if that's the same thing. Because I actually have, I was gonna check it before I started recording this video, but I forgot because I'm stupid. But let me look through my files. Okay, Rosworth Vale. Oh, it is a 755. I thought it was 745. Oh. Yeah. Should have checked that before recording, but there you go then. Now that we're long. Yep, so no, never mind. I thought it was 745, but no. The 755 is a reused train. So no, never mind. The 755 is the same train in this route as it was in Rosswood Vale. So yeah. So, and the Class 60 is also reused, I know that much. So really all you get that's new was the EW's Class 66, and you can't also get this as a standalone thing, so I don't know. Is it worth it to get this route, or if you want the Class 66, you should just get it standalone? Or maybe you don't even care about the Project Class 66, because, you know, the Class 6 also comes with other routes, so, I mean, well, I say Class 66. What I mean is the older Class 66, because now I have 2 Class 66 in this game now. There's the older one, which has been included in multiple different routes, and then you have this one now, which is, this is the first one that's been included in. But of course, there's also other variants. Stand low, still got the brakes in there. We're fine. Alright, now we've got a couple up to the freight cars and go back. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I really should have checked to see if it was the same. I don't know, for some reason I decided to hit record without realizing it. But yeah, now I've checked it out. Yeah, it is the same old Class 755 with this route. I guess the main difference there, though, is that with the Class 75 over in Rosworth Vale, you drive that one diesel mode, whereas at this route you can drive an electric mode. So, yeah. And this route does cost usually $5, but I don't know. I guess you guys will have to decide then. Is this route worth it, or are you gonna skip out on it? Alright, now we're gonna go back the other way. Alright then. And yeah, because we're so short, we're gonna drive again back the other way. And I guess that'll be it for this scenario. So yeah, pretty short route. That's linear. I was supposed to say non-linear, but no, it is linear. And 2 reused. Well, we got a reused DEMU, and then reused diesel electric locomotive. I don't know. Okay, let me know what you think. I should preface this though, the main reason why I got this route, because again it's British and we haven't had a British route in a while, so I figured I would just, pick it up. Because we've had so many American routes lately, that's why I didn't do the Eureka Valley route for a while, and that's why I still have another Radden Pass route, because, a lot of stuff is similar to what we've already had. But we haven't had a British route in a long while, so I figured, and this route looked interesting, so I figured, let's review this one. I don't know. Because, again, the only thing that's really new here is the Class 66 by ProTrain, which, again, you could either get it as a standalone thing, or you could just not get it at all and just use the old Class 66, which comes in some of the other routes. I think there is an EWS version of the older Class 66, although I forget which route it's included in, so, yeah. So, in that case, if you're curious to see what other routes, or what routes you get the old Class 66 in, then what's all those, because I forget. I think you get it in the I think you get 3 different variants of this in like the Scottish Highlands route, and then I think it's also in the The really small route. What's it called? The Rocket Eastleigh route. But it might be in one of the others. So I don't know. Watch all my British route reviews, and you'll get a better picture. So yeah. So I guess I could recommend this route if you're like a hardcore British rail fan, but otherwise, if you don't care that much for British stuff, you'll have to make the decision for yourself. And yeah, I just can't be following it's been since the last British route, because again, the last British route we got before this one came out almost 2 years ago, in December of 2023. Yeah, so we got the what was it? We got the Springfield branch route, which came out in late 2023, and I actually reviewed it in January of 2024. That was actually the first video of the year that I made in 2024. Yeah. But yeah, I believe, like I said, I believe the Springfield branch route came out in late 2023, like very late 2023. I think it was like right at the end of December, actually. And it is now November of 2025, and only now we've got another British route. Which is a real shame, because I really think we should get more British content for this game. I mean, to be fair, the reason why we get a lot of American content for this game is because that's just what most people buy, you know. Yeah, I do suppose that like most of the player base for this game is American, so of course they cater to the American market. But then as a result, though, we get very few content that isn't American. I mean, you know, back in early summer we got the Fold of the Castle, Fold of the Warsburg route. That was a German route. But yeah, we got Fold of the Warsburg. I think before then, the last German route that had come out a year before that. I forget whether that was P-Tep with like 4 or the Model Trainz Germany route. I think it was Model Trainz Germany. I don't know. It was last year, so I forgot. But yeah, so it took a year to get another German route, and now it's taking us almost 2 years to get another British route. So I don't know. Which again is a shame, because, you know, despite being an American, I am a fan of other countries of trains. You know, I would say I might go as far as to say that British trains are my second favorite, like by an American. Some of which I just prefer more than a lot of American trains, actually. You know, like I'm a really big fan of British trains. And I mean, I like my American trains too, but I don't know, I just like the British trains more, honestly, now I think about it. German trains as well, also, I find it pretty exciting, you know. Ironically enough, over in Trainz Sim World, actually, we have the opposite thing, where there's not that much. There's not that much American content that comes out for Trainz Sim World, whereas there's a lot of British and German stuff. Yeah. I mean, we haven't had a U.S. Fairbound on Trainz Sim World now for a few years, although there might be one in development courtesy of Hiring Simulations. They didn't mention on their Facebook that they're developing one. Alright, speaking of Hiring Simulations, well, there's the Santa Fe Game Pack for Compact, which I'll be reviewing. Well, not reviewing it, but we'll be playing next week. And here's stuff on the November roadmap. They actually announced their first locomotive add-on, which is the BNSF GP60, whatever it was. I forget already. This looks pretty interesting. I'll be curious to check that out when that releases. I'm glad that Hiring Simulations has come on board because like I said, American content is pretty scarce in Trainz Sim World. Like, I remember Skyhook Games dabbled with American content. I think the last American thing was a few years ago. Actually, I think that was the Horse Curve route that came out way back in 2022, or no, yeah, I think it was 2022. But besides Skyhook, it's all been Dovetail. You know, it's all been Dovetail stuff that's made you know, Americanisms. And as of right now, there are two American routes. Wait, two American routes? Well, actually one technically, because on the Dovetail Direct show they announced the Morristown line. Oh, that was one of the base routes for Trainz Simulator 6, so that route's already out. And then there's the New York Stanford route, which is I would expect to come out early next year. But the thing with those routes is they're both northeast. Well, they're not supposed to lose route. They're both New York-based routes, so you know, even the Dovetail stuff we do get that's American, there's not much variety in it, honestly. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Northeastern stuff because, you know, I am a Northeastern man, but you know, we need some variation. I was hoping, well, I say hoping, I was kind of hoping that we could get a Chicagoland route, because Chicagoland has just been, well, has never once even been touched in Trainz Sim World. Yeah. Now, of course, you know, Trainz Sim Society did actually spotlight two American things that are currently being developed by a couple of third-party developers. There's that P42 add-on with the soup liners. That looks cool. Moving forward, whenever that comes out. And there's also a Texas-based freight route as well. So, yeah, and of course there's Hiring Submissions as well, who's now gone into developing American content, so yeah, hopefully we will start to see more American content going forward. Then now we have the developers other than Dovetail making American stuff. Now, something for the Dovetail, the American stuff they have been making lately has been pretty good, actually. I thought their Boston and Worcester route was really good. The Morristown route was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed the Aero 3 and the up-before of DP, and I guess the DP46 as well. San Bernardino was pretty well made as well, although I found that route to be boring, although that was more to do with the route itself being boring, not really because Dovetail made it boring, you know. And I am looking forward to New York Stanford route as well. But I don't know, we need more. And you know what? We need more foreign content for this game as well. We need more British and German stuff. So developers, I think at the moment there's only two developers actually making content for Trainz Simulator 3, being Hi, I Want More add-ons and PT. Yeah, Pro Train. So I don't know. I wonder if we'll get a third developer for this game. I've actually thought of making routes for this game as well, but I still have the time or the expertise at this point, so yeah. But we'll see what happens. Anything else to talk about then? Yeah, there's still a bit of a ways to go until we get to the end of the line, so I'm going to have to fill this out somehow. Again, not much life stuff to talk about because, again, I only did a gameplay video just last week, so I don't really have much more to say. And I don't much more to say about Trainz Simulator at this point either. That pretty much covers everything I want to talk about, I think. Yeah, no, that covers pretty much everything, so Dang it, yeah, and I gotta really try and come up with stuff to talk about for the last 10 or so minutes of this scenario. I've actually gone for quite a while. I think we started like 11 o'clock on the dot. Yeah. It's actually a pretty long scenario, though. Main reason why it's long, though, again, is because we're doing the same route, but in 2 different directions, so, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about at this point. Here's the station again. I like the way the station looks. And Bristol will go back up to 90 or 75 in the case of this train. Yeah. Yeah, not much more to say. Alright, let's go up to 90. There we go. I think there's is that? I remember there's at 25. Oh, of course the free roam camera's broken. I think it's around, or is, I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe it's when they're finally running Colchester, I don't know, we'll see. I guess there's other upcoming videos I have planned then. Well, yeah, we are now nearing the end of 2025, which, to be honest, wasn't the best year for uploads for this channel, although, to be fair, I'd say about 2025 in general. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, though, my 2025 wasn't that good, honestly. Yeah, 2025 has honestly been... It's been difficult, and the main reason is because of my financial situation, which is still not good, even after all this time later. I've been trying for months now to try to, you know, start making big money, but it's still I just can't make it happen. I am trying, you know, I have moved on to YouTube Shorts, which, I mean, I am in a membership group, so hopefully, I mean, well, they already have helped me out somewhat with, like, figuring out, like, why videos didn't perform that well. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping to start making big money before the end of the year, but right now I'm not sure if that's going to happen yet. So we'll have to see what happens. But because of that, yeah, 25 hasn't been that good of a year. But in terms of other happenings, honestly, this year, you know, I mean, May was pretty interesting because we had the cause I got to see those A64 ad wraps, plus the Thomas Rance pilot episode came out. That was cool. I got to go to the Amber Street show back in January, but not much beyond that. I mean, I guess August, you know, August, September, and October were pretty interesting. But, you know, now that NASCAR 25 is out, there's really not much left to go, and, yeah. And we think, well, that's some good things, you know, that happened. Yeah, but what I really wanted to do was, you know, do my yearly trips, you know, I mean, well, yearly trip, because, you know, 2023 I went to New York, 2024 I went to Chicago, and I did have another big trip planned for this year, but it ended up not happening because I didn't have the money to pay for it. So, I mean, I have been able to go to places this year, though. I got to go to a number of race events that, my local short tracks. I got to, go see some Trainz Simulator again. I got to go to that, that New Haven open house thing that Metro North did. Never been able to go to some other train shows as well, but thing is, besides the that's a curse speed. What do you mean? Okay, whatever. Thing is, though, besides the New Haven open house thing though that I went to, everything else I did this year was pretty much the same as I do every year. So it's not really all that special. You know what I mean? And the really big special things I had planned for this year, again, didn't happen because I didn't have the money for to pay for it, so... yeah. So, at this point, though, my goal for the rest of 2025 is to see if I can go viral with YouTube Shorts, get to the point where we're making loads of money from it, and I really want 2026, next year, to be the big comeback here. Like, I want next year to be like a return to form. You know? Then maybe thinking, oh, well, if you get getting a job. Actually, I have thought about it, but I just don't want to do it because I just don't. I just don't want to do it. Well, I mean, I could. I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't be cut out for it. I could work a job, but like I said, I just don't want to do it because, I'm just lazy and stuff. But at this point, it might be the only way that I'm able to make any sort of money and at least get back on my feet somewhat. At least I'm making money. But I will say this, though. If I do decide to get a job, I'm not going to do it until... probably not until January. As I'm hoping that I want to spend the rest of this year working on YouTube Shorts in the hopes that I do eventually go viral. Because, thing is, YouTube Shorts is not that hard. Because, I mean, I'm literally in... Actually, I'm in 2... membership groups now. Actually, I paid for another one, in case you didn't know, but I'm in 2 membership groups where there's so many people making so much money from YouTube Shorts. I mean, ironically enough, in the membership group that I'm really focused on, the main guy in it actually did a whole session about, be like, hey, you guys are making a lot of money. You should hire editors to lighten the workload a bit. So I mean, here's him talking about how everyone should hire editors to lighten the workload, and then here's me, who's not making anywhere near the amount of money to afford an editor. Like even he said himself, actually, he should be making about at least $5,000 a month before he should pay for an editor. And right now, yeah, I'm not even close to that amount. So, yeah. And looking at the train was this heavy, so oh dear. Come on. Can I get a speed penalty here? Surprisingly, no. Okay, but we are not slowing down, though. Come on. Okay, well, we're gonna make the 25. Well, okay, we're not gonna make the 25. We'll surely be able to make the interlocking. Yeah, is there no speed penalties in this scenario? That's strange. But yeah, 2025, not the best year for me, so I'm hoping next year is better. But we'll see what happens. Still a month and a half left to go in 2025, though, so anything is possible. Or is it? I don't know. Well, there you go. That makes coming up with some things to talk about then, as we're now reaching the end of this scenario and the end of this video. Pretty long server, actually. It's been on for almost an hour. But like I said, then again, that was only because we did the same route, but then in 2 different directions, so yeah. there you go then. That was the Colchester Harwich route. Nice to finally have a new UK route. How long is it going to be till the next one then? Guess we'll see. But that's it then for now. Almost. Well, not it. Yeah, because we still haven't got to a stop yet, but we are in just a little bit. But yeah, let me know what you think of this route then. I mean, I think it's alright, but it's a bit overpriced though. You know, not a lot of rolling stock routes doesn't have much stuff to do on it, so yeah. But let me know what you think. Maybe you really like this route. And yeah. Give me some nice and early because I don't want to overrun the stopping marker, and which might mess me up here. Alright, and there you have it. We gotta decouple the cars, really? Okay. Okay, decouple the cars here. We're gonna perk it up in a siding or something. Oh. Oh, I got up to here. Okay, that's not bad. Alright. Okay, we're almost done, but we're not done quite yet. I'm gonna have to go back all the way into the sign, though. I don't really want to do that, but well, we'll see. Or maybe we don't have to. Maybe we just gotta just go up to this marker and then that's it. Oh, this has been going for quite a while, though. I'm not sure. I think I want to back into the siding, or can we just park up here and then that's it? Okay, there's a lead engine now, though, so the braking distances are a lot shorter. Alright, that's it. Alright, where's our scoreboard then? Guess take a little bit then. Alright, there we go then. Alrighty, well that will do it for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.